My talk is called The Ladder of Liturgical Insincerity or Sincerity. So I'm kind of interested in not so much atheistic conceptions of worship, but maybe agnostic conceptions of worship. I think liturgy is a place where people who don't feel that they know, maybe don't even feel that they believe or accept, certainly at that moment maybe don't believe or accept, might still participate in the literature, in the liturgy. They might participate in the liturgy and do so with a kind of intentional movement upwards, if you will. So they might be looking to inquire, what is this like? What does it involve? They might be looking to discern. So is this something that I kind of can get into? What would it be like for these sorts of things to be true? Does that then make me think that I should hope that some of these things are true? What would that kind of hope look like? Can we go further into acceptance, belief, and so forth? Now, in some cases, I think we shouldn't want to climb the ladder of sincerity all the way up to perfect certainty, maybe not even to full belief. I think there's some doctrines that seem scientifically kind of out of bounds at this point for actual belief, maybe a kind of geocentric doctrine. There might be some doctrines in some traditions that are morally problematic, such that we wouldn't want to move to belief. We might think about whether we should even utter them in liturgical contexts, but certainly it doesn't look like they're good candidates for belief. So I'm kind of interested in thinking about the role of liturgical ceremony and ritual, especially in the life of somebody who's pretty far down on the ladder of sincerity, maybe around the level of hoping, deeply hoping, seriously hoping, sometimes moving into acceptance or faith, maybe very rarely find themselves with belief and knowledge. And I think one of the things that it can do for you, for such a person, is meet an important constraint on hope. So in order to hope, at least in a kind of full-blown, defiant way for something, you have to have some sense that it's really possible, or sort of what it would be like for it to be true. This is a Kantian condition on hope. Kant thinks that the question, what may I hope, is the third, and in some sense, most important question in philosophy. So how do we get a sense of what's really possible, what it would be like for some of these super sensible, noumenal things to be true? I think that's where, this is not Kant's thought about the liturgy. He was a great opponent of false service and delusional priestcraft. But I think that there's a way of construing what happens in ceremony and liturgy and ritual and communal contexts that gives that kind of modal understanding. You operate through your body, through your speech, through your interactions with others in such a way that it increases not necessarily your sense that it's true, but at least what it would be like for it to be true. And that then puts in place this key modal condition that's required for the kind of deep religious hope that I'm interested in. So liturgical insincerity just meaning something like, yeah, you're saying and doing things that are out of keeping with your beliefs, maybe even out of keeping with what you accept, but still motivated by the effort to satisfy this modal condition on deep hope. That kind of hope as something that could be constitutive of a substantive, authentic religious life. Yeah, so the idea is that like everyday hope, you just have to be you have to want it and not be certain that it's impossible. But these more kind of central, substantive, key hopes require a sense of the possibility of the thing. What are you even talking about? What would that be like? And I think reading things and so forth, imagining things, especially if you don't think that mere imagination or conceivability is a good guide to real possibility, won't often suffice, or sometimes won't suffice. And maybe these kinds of bodily liturgical interactions give us a different way of grasping real possibility.